Welcome to part 13 of Sonic Adventure 2. Now we're in the jungle still, and Rouge is trapped. That's useful, right?
Inside this locked safe with a Chaos Emerald. I guess I won't be able to call myself a treasure hunter.
So you can't call yourself a treasure hunter because you got trapped in a very oddly specific scenario where you've got a bomb going off in 10 minutes. That makes sense, right?
Really? Shadow should just leave her.
well, no, because he needs the Chaos Emeralds, doesn't he? So he's got to gauge up the priorities there, like, do I let her die? But I want the shiny things.
Can the Chaos Emeralds be destroyed?
I don't know. Like, we've never actually got a stress test on the Chaos Emeralds in the series, have we? Because, like, I think the worst we've got really was in Adventure 1, you know, where it's like Chaos had sucked out all the positive energy, but we haven't seen them take physical damage.
Plus, Eggman managed to take the energy from the Emeralds as well to open up the Earth.
Oh, what, in an Unleashed run?
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose this contrasts to the Master Emerald that breaks at the slightest little knock.
Yeah.
You would imagine they'd be strong though, the Chaos Emeralds, right? Like indestructible or something, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But
Well,
then again,
As opposed to the Master Emeralds.
yeah, as Harry said, the Master Emerald.
Yeah, that's meant to be like the big one, and yet, no, that just smashes up. I suppose it keeps Knuckles in work though. Which, it must be hard finding a job when you can't read. I love that.
Boom.
Yeah, I love that gag so much.
God's sake, I realise Knuckles isn't meant to be bright, but they're making him painfully stupid.
I started getting annoyed by that, like, later on in the main series, but with the way Boom's handling it, they've just gone all the way, and he is a complete Caboose-style idiot, isn't he? And I like that, actually. It did start to annoy me the first footage I saw, and it was just, like, a bit dumb, but now we've got, like, oh wait, I can't read. Yeah. That's the level of dumb I like.
Puts on glasses, ready to read, and then realises at the last second, my God.
Yeah. See, I think Knuckles gets the best jokes in the Boom TV series, doesn't he? Like, that's
The most recent one. I am a supervillain of average intelligence.
It's a shame that the game is pretty shit with like the jokes itself. Like it's a bit hit and miss, isn't it?
there's a great like tone clash, I think. The cartoon series, it gets away with stupid humour because everything, like the whole atmosphere, is really silly.
The thing with the jokes with the Sonic Boom game, like they make it too obvious. That's the impression I get. Like it's not really like the humour just seems a bit like obvious in your face, like trying to force you to like get a laugh out of it. Like,
well, I get
there's
that.
not much intelligence into it.
I get that more with the TV show, but with the game, the problem I have is that the main plot is quite a dark plot.
Yeah.
But then they've got good characters desperately trying to say funny things, and it's just such a horrible tone clash that it just is cringeworthy
I could
at times.
understand given the scenario. Yeah.
Knuckles' character in Boom kind of reminds me of a character called Brick in Anchorman. It's like he's unbelievably stupid, but he tries to fit in.
Oh, okay.
Like when in the most recent episode where they're all shouting and then Knuckles just decides to chime in for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, what was that? I remember the bit you mean. I can't remember the exact context.
I know he was shouting out that he's a supervillain of average intelligence.
I do love that so much. But yeah, we're here again. So this is the thing we get a lot with SA2's story, in that we see both sides of the same story, but that means we get repetition at times. Like, we've already done this fight on the hero side, but now just do it again. I don't know if I mentioned this in the hero side, but there's actually a glitch you can do involving the somersault, where if you just sort of tap it, but it doesn't complete the somersault.
Yeah, I think you mentioned this before.
The other guy just runs into you and dies, just takes hits repeatedly. It's so awkward. Shadow is really pointless in Boom. I don't know if any of you have seen.
I think he was just there for filler, and he like to sort of like revenge against Lyric for some reason. I don't know.
No, that would be giving them too much credit. What he does he turns up, like, he just goes on Sonic about how he's faithful to his friends and that's his weakness. They fight.
I saw that in the cutscene.
Yeah,
I
so-
thought it was to do
so
with
he has no relation
backstory
to-
with Lyric or something.
He has no relation to Lyric
None whatsoever.
or
just,
Eggman.
Nope, he's just there.
So he's
Why
just
is it that's
pissed
pointless?
off because it's Sonic.
Yeah, he's just this. Him in Boom is how, like, the people who have always hated Shadow have always seen him. Like, he's just angsty for the sake of being angsty. He turns up and goes on at Sonic about how your biggest weakness is your loyalty to your pathetic friends or something like that. Then they fight, they scrap for a bit. Then he completely fucks off till right at the end, and like, he does nothing towards the story or anything.
I would say that is like the Mario fan base, but it's actually kind of friendly to Sonic, so...
I don't know.
Who is what were you saying? Shadow
So,
and who's
like-
the other character? Lyric, yeah.
Yes.
Who's he?
He's a
He's
snake
the snake
guy.
guy. He's like part of the Ancients, which is like a primitive like
Race.
culture, and they sort of like do I can't really explain it in much detail. What they are, they're a primitive culture, but they built like technology.
They were very
advanced things. Yeah.
I would like to draw attention to the fact that we have an ancient civilization who called themselves, at the time, the Ancients. And
It's as if they were like, it's going to happen one day.
yeah, one day we will be old, so let's call ourselves something fitting for that.
Is he a new character then brought in for Boom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Are you sure?
and he's just sort of a bland, generic, angsty like, antagonist. He's not particularly memorable, yet somehow he's validated enough to get his name on the box. Here's Eggman's threatening broadcast. I'm sorry, if you saw this like as one of these terror broadcasts, that's not exactly all that frightening, is it? Like,
It looks
that,
like he's trying to sell
that
us
girl's face
Yeah.
is more frightening.
It looks like he's trying to sell us
that-
something on
that-
that TV marketing show.
yeah.
I swear, if you look into that CGI girl's eyes, it will devour your soul.
Yeah, but like, yeah, this like is on like Bid Up TV or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's recommended retail price one of these badniks. They normally $69.99, but yours today $29.99. Today they're going down.
Hang about, we got a price drop here.
It's so incredibly convenient that that old space station looks like Eggman's face.
Well, I suppose Gerald looked fairly similar, so he might have been basing it on himself, mightn't he? But still. They're creating a plot hole in the road.
That's going to last a while and cause some major damage.
How does gravity work again?
Surely there'd be like floods and tsunamis and that just from the
Yeah.
tide being thrown off.
Not just that, but when the moon's gravity just
Yeah.
reshape it or something, I don't know.
Well, it would. Like, I don't think the particles that are being blown off would have scattered how they would. I think they would have stayed like in orbit of the moon.
Yeah.
Complete havoc on the
Science in a Sonic game. I know.
Yeah, they got a talking hedgehog. How did that happen?
Magic.
They got a talking hedgehog out of a space alien. How did that happen?
A genetical clusterfuck.
As if Black Doom just thought, no, I don't want my clone to look like me.
throwing a tantrum.
Do a hedgehog. Why not?
Here's Evil HQ, apparently.
Here you go.
Oh, this is the only little bit of reference we get to Adventure 1, because this is the part the newspaper's talking about. It's the end of Tails' story, isn't it? And that really throws me off, because I'd always assumed that Sonic's story was the canonical one, and Tails was like his own interpretation of it, but this is specifically referring to Tails.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Because, like, remember how we were thinking about in SA1 about how Tails was exaggerating his confrontation with Eggman and that, but this is suggesting that happened. But I'm still not convinced by that, because that would have been happening around the same time that Sonic was also fighting Eggman.
This is Rouge reporting. Currently, I have not been able to.
Rouge being subtle about the fact she's a spy, of course. Just taking a phone call.
On Project Shadow.
Colorado and have a follow-up report very shortly. Just a reminder.
I do kind of like what they did having Rouge as this kind of government spy coming in. It's like, gives us a bit more of a perspective of the dark side guys being like all in it for themselves as opposed to an like organised for their cause like the hero ones are. But anyway, here's Rouge driving an incredibly phallic looking car. It is.
I had not noticed that when I played. How did I not notice that?
That car is literally a dick. I don't care.
Well, that's most fans' response to Rouge, really, isn't it?
Oh god. Yeah, let's just casually crash into the wall a bit.
Yeah, the only way to describe Rouge is tits on a bat.
Yeah, like, what was going through their minds when they designed that character? Like, I can understand fan service in most things, but this is an animal. I don't like to think about the thought process that went into this. Because this is just like casual fan service, isn't it? It's like, they're not trying to do anything with it, they just, like, we'll give her tits because that adds sex appeal. Like, it's... nah. I nearly went off there. So, this is a case of the Dark Story throwing in blatant filler, isn't it? Because this level don't do much, really. It's literally just a clone of the other
Pretty much
racing one.
empty in a way as well. Aside
Yeah.
from the car.
There are more things you can fall off here than the one in Tale's story.
At least
I
it
can't
makes
see the difference. to be honest.
At least it makes more sense for Rouge to. At least it makes more sense for Rouge to be driving than Tails, considering Tails has the tornado.
Yeah.
Or he's under the age as well. To legally drive, so.
Yeah. Although, like, that kind of gets thrown out the window with all the other shit he can do when he's like 8 years old. Like, Tails, well, we just ignore the fact
It's
that he's
more
8.
believable for Rogue because she's like 18, isn't she? Or something.
Something like that, yeah. I think she's 17, 18.
Do
or
bats
whatever.
even live to like 18 and stuff?
They
Who
do
the
it.
fuck knows?
It
Who even
talks.
cares?
It talks and it's got boobs. You're going to question its age.
Not to mention the fact she can see. Well, actually, the way she's driving, I'm not too convinced, but still.
Bats aren't blind.
Well, they don't have conventional eyesight, but they kind of use the
Sonar.
It's
yeah,
more
sonar
limited
sight.
to their eyesight, I think. It's not
Yeah.
that
They're
blind.
not entirely blind.
No, but they don't have the same way of seeing that other animals do. But,
They're at a disadvantage.
although I'm not sure how we would have found that out. If you think about it, how do we find out? It's like these theories that dogs are colourblind and that.
How do we figure
They
that
just
out?
Yeah, not like in the eye of
something
the
horrible
dog,
like
right?
that.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
Oh,
it's something like the different genetical makeup of a dog's eye. Maybe it hasn't got like the same detail in the lens or something. I don't know. Science confuses me.
It doesn't have. Was it rods and cones in your eyes or something like that? It doesn't
Something
have one of
like
them
that.
or something on the retina or something.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
No, maybe dogs are just stuck in the 50s.
Probably best to
Yeah.
not of like complicated.
They didn't upgrade this set. Or
yeah, the dog's still got that whole CRT in a box that never did
Have you heard
colour.
of this thing called HDMI?
Yeah. I've never realised before how much better quality HDMI connections look to component, but it makes a hell of a lot of difference just looking through things that I've recorded and shit. And yes, I am driving like a complete piss edit.
Imagine if the gun. Imagine if the car had a gun on the front of it.
Yeah.
oh dear.
Well, to be fair, I don't really need a weapon, do I? Because I've just rammed all the cars off the road, some of them through a tunnel.
Tails
Tails actually bothering to fly.
Tails
Yeah.
is flying, but he's also following the road.
Why not?
Why?
Well, we saw how he is with building planes in Adventure 1. If he realises that he's something shat out in the plane, at least he's got something to land on. To be fair.